I'm Steven, and I've failed more than anybody you know. I have a son with Down syndrome. I have a son with autism. At 33, I became the vice president for a billion-dollar company. I made a lot of money. But at the height of my career, I became a full-blown meth addict. I lost everything. I'm homeless on the streets right now, but determined to rebuild. All I want to do is use my life to help others. This is the greatest success story of all time unfolding right here. Okay. Guys, when you watch these videos, you gotta understand something. I'm trying to show the struggle. I'm not trying to be smooth or have something all polished. It is what it is. So, be okay with it. It's hot in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 buttons to close the shades. I was reading through a couple things that I wrote. A prayer that I prayed back at the very beginning of December. And just to kind of be transparent in everything that I'm dealing with, so I can reflect on this also. You know, I still feel very much the same way. Not a lot has changed since I wrote this. I don't know how to pray. I'm asking God to teach me how to pray, to ask for the right things, and I'm really trying to get underneath what's going on. Something that I just was thinking about, it's about blind spots. Is this an important topic right now? You know, I'm gonna save that. We'll talk about that one later. Blind spots. They're hard to find. You got to really go look for them. That's what I'm trying to uncover in my life right now, but I'll tell that story later. Back to this. This is just a prayer I wrote down as I was praying. Lord Jesus Christ, Holy Spirit, align my will to yours. Your kingdom come, use me. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Teach me your ways and let me lead. Here I am. I've done nothing to deserve that privilege. I'm just asking for you to use me. And what I mean by lead, I mean like lead your movement on earth. Let me lead your cause, your will. That's what I mean. Not let me be in control. That's not what I'm asking. I want him to let me lead something important, something that he wants done. I want to lead. I want to kick ass. I'm really anxious to do that. I want to be strong enough and humble enough to withstand the arrows. I want everyone to see my sin, but know my heart. So the arrows of the devil cannot harm me. I think that gives some insight into why I'm doing what I'm doing. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for my sobriety. Thank you for curing me. I give my life to you. Teach me to walk with you every day. Teach me how to love people. Teach me how to stand up and overcome temptation. Do not allow me to believe or be influenced by lies. Make my path straight and powerfully guide my feet so I can't screw it up. I pray for Andy, Stephanie. Here I'm just listing a group of people, a list of people I've been praying for. I was going to cut it out, but I'll just voice over it instead. Susan, Cindy, Ed, Steve, Cynthia, Curtis, Christina, Dennis, Joey, Camellia, Mom, Dad, Eric, Morgan, Jan, Dave, John, Brian, Jason, Hayden, Baron, Kaylin. I love these people. Be aware of them and know them. I don't want to read that part. All those people are not people that will see this. At least no time soon. Basically all of them don't even know what I've been dealing with. And they don't need to. It's not why I'm doing this. But I've been reading through Genesis about Israel and Joseph. I can relate to this because I knew early on I would do great things. I still believe that today. I have doubt, recently a lot of doubt, but thinking back on the difference between Joseph's life and David's life, the two seem to reflect two paths that people tend to fall into. One was an unlikely candidate by the world's standards, a small shepherd who through unwavering faith and obedience killed giants, conquered kingdoms, united Israel and Judea, and became the greatest king probably to have ever lived. Joseph, on the other hand, knew early on he was going to be important and used by God. And these people struggle with pride. Talking about people like Joseph struggle with pride. I struggle with pride. His story was much different. He had to be stripped of everything, broken, sold into slavery, thrown into jail, and learned how to trust God in an unbelievably dramatic way. Joseph ended up saving Egypt and surrounding cities from worldwide famine and establishing Israel in the land. Joseph was born with skills and talents. Most handsome, most intelligent. His dad knows it. His mom knows it. His brothers know it. He dreams the whole world and the nation of Israel bow down to him. There's no humility in that. And he must be shown humility and trust in God. These people who, if they had to do it on their own, probably could. They have the skills and talents. These people are incredibly talented. They're gifted from birth. But if you are to proceed with God in a way of peace without continual anxiety and oppression, they must be broken. God must teach you how dependence on him really works. But these people, even in your suffering, still float to the top. These people like Joseph, even in their suffering, they still float to the top. Everywhere they go, even in jail, in prison, in charge of Potiphar's house and the prison. This is how you know you were called. Even in the worst scenarios, you are still prosperous. Joseph turned his back on his own self-reliance. The secret is getting true dependence, meaning dependence on God. God, break me. The worst thing that can happen to me is to get into the promised land with idols, holding idols. Idols are the things I rely on for help, things that give me comfort and pleasure, drugs, money, relationships, success from other things, pride, self-righteousness, the whole thought, I obey, therefore I deserve. And that really hit me. I feel like I can relate more with Joseph. Somebody who knew early on that they were going to do something, but then screws it up. I can't relate totally to Joseph. That's so arrogant. Because see, I bring my own problems to me. Like my own stupidity and my own actions that's me and me being stupid. I was just thinking how arrogant it was that I'm like talking like, dude, it took me 5 buttons to roll up the sunshades in my car. What an idiot I am. I'm homeless. I have nothing. This car's barely functioning. So, like, that's how prideful I am. I'm like talking about my car, dude. I'm homeless. I have nothing to brag about. I got nothing to brag about. What am I doing? I'm such an idiot. See, this is the kind of stuff that frustrates me. Like, I'm just a dipshit. I say the dumbest things. But, and then beating myself up makes me feel better. Most of my life I've been running from God. I rely on money. Money makes things comfortable. Money makes things easy. Money makes hitting the pleasure button easy. Money gives you power and the ability to do what you want when you want to do it. It really does. And so that is an idol for me. And I have tried to make my life kind of implode. And I think that's kind of God doing that. He kind of said enough. So much, like, I think something happens when like us people who have come to know God at a young age, and we grew up in a Christian home, and we go to camp and we invite Jesus into our heart, and we don't really know what it means, but something happens in that moment, and God, we give our lives to God, and then we spend months and years and decades of our life fumbling around trying to figure it out and not realizing that we have given our life to God, and we did it earlier, and we kind of forget that. And we forget that God will be faithful to complete the work He started in us. And if we're stubborn and we try to continue doing life without Him, and we try to fill the God-shaped holes in our heart with the idols, money mainly, He brings us to our knees, and He will be faithful to complete the work that He started.
Kids, all I'm trying to say is that can really suck.
And what that can mean is He will do what it takes. And I was really stubborn, and I went to extreme lengths to destroy my life, to run from God, and He has allowed me to get beat down so far. I never thought I'd find rock bottom. I used to joke all the time with my wife, not even joke, I was serious, like, rock bottom for me is dead. That's rock bottom for me, dead. So how did I get sober? I didn't do anything to be sober. I was gonna be homeless for the rest of my life. That was my plan. God wouldn't let me do that, and I've done nothing in and of myself to save myself. That's the truth. I made a video earlier about why I became sober. Those are all things that happen, but that's not why I became sober. I became sober because God decided to have grace and mercy on me, and He said enough is enough, and my heart changed. I have no other explanation for it. I was totally fine doing drugs and not having a place to live, because you see, those kind of drugs that I was doing makes everything better, makes everything okay. That's why there's droves of homeless people everywhere, happy as clams. I'm not even kidding, dude. It's crazy. I know people that had houses that would go out and just hang out with homeless people because it was fun. Like, those people are having fun because of drugs. Like, I was totally content being homeless, and I had no plan. I had no plan on changing. And God just beat me down and beat me down and beat me down until I really wasn't happy, and then changed my heart. He whispered in my heart, hey, it doesn't have to be like this. I can show you purpose. I can
Except he still hasn't told me what that is.
give you what you're looking for. And I believe that in my heart, and something changed, and I just saw that what I was doing was not giving me what I was after, and I can't put words to it. It just happened. And that's how I became sober. I haven't been to a single meeting, dude. Not to dog 12 steps, but I've been there a lot, and I've worked the steps a lot, and I was unable to be sober doing that. I tried decades and years, and I spent my entire senior year of high school in freaking boarding school, basically. I mean, I have been locked up more than anybody that I know. I have learned the steps. I have learned the things, and that's not what got me sober. If you're struggling getting sober, pray and keep doing what you're doing. Don't try to get sober. Just pray and keep doing it. I'm a horrible influence, but that's the best advice I could give you. I don't know if I'm going to post this video. We'll see. If I do, hopefully you're not dumber after having listened to it. Bye.